the right friends. That's what people should do. If you want to find out if you have good friends, the smart
Invite them
friends,
over right now.
invite them over right now. And whoever shows up, you just fucking
Gone.
shoot them. You just shoot them because they are a threat to you and the whole world, and you need to get rid of them.
I think that's the closer.
Big hug.
Yes. Goodbye, Danny.
Let's not worry about the facts.
Right.
Let's not have anybody that knows what they're talking about.
Dude,
Fuck that.
this is a boring enough conversation without bringing a fucking lawyer into this.
Yeah.
But he let me hit the comedy wall. That's what that was. So which reminds me of a thing that you sent me earlier that I think was pretty funny. Right?
The chemtrails?
Yes, that really bothers you. Did you look into what they are at all, or if they're really a thing?
Well, no, I mean, they've been a thing. People have been talking about this for years, right? Like the chemtrails, like there's something, because they can't put it in their head that, there's atmospheric temperature differences and there's moisture. So there's moisture and temperature, and then moisture and temperature tend to do things, right? That's how the world works. And
this is how you're explaining it? I mean, this sounds like you're one of them covering up. You don't have any real science. You're like, well, there's temperature.
That is real science.
And then,
if the temperature gets cold, if the temperature gets cold and there's water in the air, and then it looks like there's smoke coming behind them, but it's just water in the air and temperature. That's all it is. If it heats up, if it's drier, then they go way faster, or they won't appear at all. So it's it's not that difficult a concept to get your head around. It's just a simple thing that happens in the atmosphere, and some people can't, and some people, because their eyes, they see it, look at that, they're spraying chemicals. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. First of all,
okay.
I would say if they're spraying chemicals,
it is putting off through the burning of the fuels. It is great. It's like one of the number one things terrible for the atmosphere, apparently, right? For global warming.
Look, planes are bitch slapping the planet. That is, and we're getting paid back, and like this virus, but that's not. But there's not poison being coming. And here's the problem.
Are you sure that they're not dropping poison on us?
Sure, I'm fucking positive. Okay, and here's the thing
How?
that gets me is if they were that good at this conspiracy, if they could get that deep of conspiracy, and they had the governments and all of the countries, all, because it happens all over the world. I've seen it in Europe. I've seen it in Asia. I've seen it in Africa. I've seen it in the Middle East. It happens all over the world, and they got all of these governments to do it. Okay, but. And they got the chemicals on the plane, and they're spraying this stuff out there, and they've kept it all shut up because all the pilots are quiet. Then
I'm starting to think you don't believe in this.
Well, then why is the one thing they could figure out how to do, which is not make it visible? Why would they do that? Is that just a little like, are they fucking with us at the same time? Is it not enough to kill us and to be a big conspiracy? Are they also at the time going, yeah, 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 yeah? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, there's nothing coming out of the plane except there's water and there's temperature. And that's all it is. And this guy, what's even great about this is, did you read the article? He links to an article that mocks the theory and then claims, because the headline in the article is that the Air Force pilot comes clean, she's, and they mock her and the idea of this through the article. But that wasn't even the worst thing that he put on his page. I didn't know if we were going to read that, but.
Oh yeah, you gotta read that.
Okay.
It was like, do you have it?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm on a computer. I can go right to it.
Now this is interesting because first of all, one, like I've said before, I've been there. I've been down this rabbit hole like 10 years ago where I was, conspiracies.
You're still in this rabbit hole on a lot of things. You're not out of the
Yes.
rabbit hole.
So I haven't had, you still haven't given me the sign. Like, first of all, why do they say they would do that with the chemtrails? What's the point of seeding like chemicals in the air? What does it do?
Well, it's a geoclimate thing. Some people believe that they're what they're doing is they're trying to stop the sun's rays on the earth, like this, like we're not getting enough weather, so they're trying to create weather to stop the sun from beating down so much that we're in this major drought. They use all the kind of climate change things to keep their conspiracy going. That what they're doing is they're putting these chemicals in the air. Now that's some people. Some people think the chemicals are poison. Other people think the chemicals are there as a weather deterrent. Or to change the weather, to improve the weather or whatever.
To bioengineer the atmosphere and to make it so that we can get some more years before the sun scorches us.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Again, look, all your...
Now that I would be like, because if they've had to buy us 10 more years by doing that, you know what I'm saying?
Asshole. Every fucking plane is doing it. Every fucking plane is doing it. So every pilot is flying a plane, shooting shit out of it, and has no fucking clue. The guy at Southwest is doing it, along with the Air Force pilot, the fucking Navy pilot. I think most pilots
don't know what the fuck they're burning. They're just like, fill it up, boys. Okay, I'm on F.
That's because you fly a lot of JetBlue and a lot of, what's the other one? What's the other shitty airline? I can't even do the good reference because I don't fly shitty airlines.
Spirit, I think, is the new hack go-to, like, make fun of airline. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read this guy's...
First of all, if they want to poison us all, why don't they just make us dumber? Why don't they just fluoride in the water? Wouldn't that be easier than seeding the atmosphere?
Fuck off. Of course. The fluoride is not bad for you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I am sure. Yes. All right. So
this
is what he wrote, and we're not going to out this guy. So if you know him, you can tell him if you want, I guess. I don't give a shit. But
I've been this guy. So I'm mocking him and me. You know what I'm saying with this? Because I read it too, and I was like, every sentence there's a punchline.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's part of this is you wonder, because if he is fucking with us, if he's doing this with tongue in cheek, then it's hilarious. But if he's serious, then you feel bad for him. And I've never heard of him, and
he's the same guy in everybody. Everybody knows this guy. I know 15, 20 of these guys. So go ahead.
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the post.
Can I interrupt you and stuff, or do you want to read the whole thing first and then go
I
don't
care. Just I might have a hard time going back, and I've got stupid glasses on because you
look good.
They're the ones that I found here.
I can't see myself in them.
People, you really do need to learn to ask questions. Some of you are
okay. Good. Because I've read this thing and I have a couple questions.
Exactly. Some of you are so bent against anyone who thinks outside the box that you're already dead. Oh, because you're in the box because you're dead?
Is that?
By the way, think outside the box. Anybody who says that now...
You couldn't say more of a cliche thing.
I know.
Than think outside the box. Nobody thinks outside the box, right? You know what would be different? To think inside the fucking box, because everybody else is thinking outside the box. You know what's inside the box? Facts and science and either a dead or an alive cat. You know what I'm saying? It's Schrader's box. Or is it Schrader's box, the science, where there's either a dead or alive cat in there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A perfect target for whatever scheme or plan the enemy has prepared for you. I guess that's because you're not thinking outside the box. So you're a perfect target for whatever. Again, grammar, not very important, but it's Facebook, so you can't be too much of an asshole about it. We were wondering.
I can't say shit to anybody about their grammar.
Yeah,
I can tell you that right now.
We were wondering years ago why they were making these camps with stackable coffins. And then he has the emoji with the little thing like this. First of all,
emoji?
We were wondering about the camps with the stackable coffins because this is the first I've heard of it. So, okay.
You mean our country prepares for disasters?
Oh shit, that would be awful. It certainly didn't prepare for this one. All right. Besides the chemtrails, you've already gotten used to. Okay. We have this COVID-19 pandemic, which coincidentally was prepared for in October of last year at the event 201, headed by your boy Bill Gates and teamed up with Johns Hopkins and other corporate major moneymakers.
That is true. The sort of pandemic test that they ran, or the pandemic sort of, it was like a pandemic drill kind of that they had conference. Yes, they know this is coming, right? Like the people like that have looked into this before have been like, I know this is coming. You know, like if I could find a way to make money on climate change and the fucking disaster that's coming, it'd be like, I would be smart to start investing in ways to benefit from that if I had that kind of money and blah, blah, blah. So if I was on Bill Gates's level, I would be like, all right, how do I set myself up to one, help people when that comes about, and how do I profit off of it?
Exactly. And it's not that they just started thinking about this. There have been people thinking about pandemics since the Black Plague, right? Since the and there were ones before that, but that's the one we've known since that is sort of in more modern times that we know of. I mean, there's the ones that I guess you could take maybe happened in the Bible. I don't know.
Right. Anyway. But if you and I are sort of multi-trillionaires that run the world, there's 10 of us, right? And we get together at the Bilderberg meeting every now and then and whatever year. And we kind of talk about things and we're like, all right, what do we do to sort of control and to benefit and blah, blah, blah. Eventually you have to be like, you look at the science and you have to be like, we got to get rid of a lot of people, right? So in theory, you own all the medias, you own a lot of the governments and the laws and this wouldn't be a bad plan.
Who are these trillionaires that you know of?
Though, the same people that,
I don't know trillionaires.
Well, I'm assuming the guys that own the money are trillionaires.
Well, they're billionaires, multi-billionaires, but there's not, I think there was almost one in Asia was a trillionaire, and I was trying to do a joke about it, because if you have $1 trillion, right, then you could, it's the amount of money that you have. If you have $1 trillion, you have to be killed, because you can do a lot lot because you have so many billions of dollars.
You can seed the atmosphere.
Yeah,
you're starting to be woke, buddy. You're starting to be woke.
No, I'm not woke at all.
All right, go ahead. Continue with this.
But let me just say this: if I was a trillionaire, we would probably never talk again, and I would talk to no one. No, I mean I would talk to you, but I certainly am not going to a fucking meeting ever again. If I'm a trillionaire, I am not. You'll be like, where are you at, Danny? And I'll be like, we'll just talk on Skype. Okay.
Right. You'd have a guy talking for you, right? Like the Rothschilds do.
But I don't know. I don't automatically think that rich people are the worst people on the planet. I think that they can be, just like poor people can be some of the worst people on the planet. You know what I mean? It goes back to the reason why I've always hated any of this, these people situations is that you mean people, because, these people are lazy. No, people are lazy. Not all the people, but I've got some in my family. So it's not just these people. These people are also in my family. So, You know what I mean? Whatever group you've got, I've got some of them too. These people are criminals. So are these motherfuckers in my family. You know what I mean? So that, there's
what's the worst crime committed in your family?
Oh shit! I'm not gonna come clean on that. What are you setting me up? It's finally on video, and I'm just gonna come clean and then I'm gonna now I'm a snitch. Fuck that shit.
Oh, so you're saying you haven't committed the worst crime in your family? It's not you.
I don't know. I probably have. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't agree with this idea that only rich people can be horrible
assholes.
But I do understand that that if you have a certain amount of money, you have power, and that power gets you some stuff. But to a certain level, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody gets taken down at some point, and look, if they couldn't do that, all right, I don't want to get too deep into these conspiracies because I can't. Look, if you're gonna believe in that shit, then you need to listen to our next podcast because I got some shit to tell you on that one.
Okay,
all right, we're gonna finish.
Continue. Go back.
So then he said that about the Bill Gates and teamed up with Johns Hopkins and other corporate major moneymakers. Then in parentheses, read in context, comma, not saying the virus is fake. We know it's real, end of parentheses. Now, the great thing about that is he's just kind of created all these things where there's some truth to it, but he's putting it in really kind of, these guys got together. You know what I mean? Like it's all a conspiracy, right? But then, hey, I'm not saying the virus is fake.
Well, how do we know? How do we know it's not fake? Is he's just not woke? I mean, there's another guy that's like, there's another guy that doesn't like that he just said, we all know the virus is real. There's another guy that's like, what are you talking about?
Right. He just left. He's left. The virus is real.
The virus isn't real. Like that sentence is the one that's like sheep.
Now they say there are so many bodies, funerals for the deceased are pushed back for weeks or no funeral at all, and there is nowhere to bury them all. Stackable
That's
coffins, in parentheses. I'm not a guy who looks for conspiracies.
What?
As there isn't enough
you
time
sure
in the day
have
for that.
Stumbled across
wow.
a few.
You just put a bunch of, okay. But my intuition, but this is my favorite part, but my intuition is on level 10. And I've always been
Wait, what does that mean? My intuition is on level 10. Like he's 10
I don't
the
know,
max?
because it goes to like 10 million in this context, right? He's just on a 10. I don't know, but I just love it. I've always been able to see behind and beyond things. Okay. Sounds like a magician. Even if he doesn't do it as an act.
Dude, that is level 10 right there. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Because I'm at level and that kind of comparison about seeing beyond and behind things. Yeah. I'm at about a level 2-ish.
Two or
right?
three.
I'm 2 or 3. So this guy's seeing shit.
This is the post again. I'm a Sagittarius sun, and my Mercury is in Sagittarius also. So this is what you get.
Okay, even if he was credible with the other shit, I'm a Sagittarius sun. That's your go-to final proof of your fucking 10 perception level. Yeah. You can't even see beyond horoscopes, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
I don't know, but see, then he adds the sort of laughing emoji. So what does that mean? Does that mean he knows that it's bullshit, or he's saying, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying you don't have to agree with me to show me respect when you share your opinion. And I love life and I love you all, but don't be dumb. There are greater powers at work here and big plans that don't include you. That's what they used to say at my church all the time. This is not a movie or a comic book. They said that at my church too. Captain America is not real and Iron Man ain't coming. They didn't say that. Don't live in fear, but don't fear truth either. Big hug. And then, so he ends it like that.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I got to tell you, it's weird. I like about 47% of like his sentences, he's about love and thinking differently and including everybody except those of us that aren't willing to agree with him. But I'm a Pisces underneath the water, not in the sun. Right? So I don't even know what the fuck that means. But it means my perception level's down. But
that post right there is proof of you need an editor. Some people need an editor. There's a lot of, you know what I mean? It could be like 5 sentences long, and we would all agree with it. It wouldn't have any of that crazy shit in it. You know what I mean?
But the comment section was, when I started reading the comment section of that, I was expecting more people like you. And
he's probably gotten rid of all.
There are less people than you. There are more like, I think the same way. We're seeing things, Yeah. And the thing is, these people do so. It's such a, like, I can't even remember the sentence I texted you, but it was like it's like they're overthinking and not thinking at all. at the same
Yes,
time.
exactly.
Like one sentence to the next,
Exactly. Exactly.
Like here's like this sort of core truth that you can find in a lot of things, and then this like, stuff that I'm just like, what the fuck? And there's that phrase that they're using that phrase woke a lot and stuff like that. Like they're woke. I'm woke.
I just read that, and I don't know how much dumber I am for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that. Yeah, maybe he is the chemtrails. Maybe this is what it is.
So I got this book in the mail today. Right? Can you see it?
What is it? Hold on.
It's Games Zen Masters Play. The writings of R.H. Blythe. I don't even know. Like sometimes I'll be reading a book and then I'll type into my phone a book that, okay, get this book. So this is the first book I got for my latest buy. And the reason I'm pulling it out is because I read like the very first page here. The first thing is, and it relates to what we're talking about people being woke. It is said that when the Buddha first had his enlightenment, he was asked, "Are you God?" "No," he replied. "Are you a saint?" "No." "Then what are you?" And he answered, "I am awake." So Buddha was the first annoying woke fuck.
Just always sitting there waiting for you to offer him some food.
So that was actually one of the new jokes I wanted to work on, which was the thing about, like, because I saw a little Buddha like on somebody's dashboard, and it just got me thinking about Buddha and my son. And I was thinking, like, did Buddha's parents ever be like, dude, stop with the sitting around all day. You got to get up and do some work. He's like, I'm being enlightened. They're like, what? Shit. You're not doing shit. You're sitting under all day long with the meditating. You can't get anywhere with that. He's like, I don't need to get anywhere. I'm right where I need to be. But like, would you